I didn't particularly get up the next morning and start jumping up and down and go, hey, we're #1 in the country. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. That was brutal because no one knew how to deal with it. The fans, the media, none of us. It wasn't just like, okay, well, you guys became #1, big deal. It was too big of a deal.
He literally did not get out of bed. I went upstairs, I said, it was like 10. I said, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm not leaving this room. Pulled the covers over his head. I said, why? He goes, when I walk out of this room, it's never going to be the same. He wasn't ungrateful for it. He just knew that the demand, he knew that the change had happened.
They were bringing people into the sports section who had never been there before. And I remember one time they were going to be playing a tournament game on TV. It wasn't determined what channel. So we put TV in the paper, TV TBA, to be announced. And we got swamped with phone calls the next day from people asking, what network is TBA? Where can I find TBA? Because people who were not used to reading the sports section were now interested.
This is also the first year that CPTV was doing the games. So now they're on television a lot, which was really unheard of for a women's basketball team. But now you got all these people that are able to watch them on TV. And I think they just saw them as almost like part of the family. It's a very different dynamic than most sports teams have with their fans. This was much more like a family kind of feeling.
ABC Evening News, the CBS Evening News, Good Morning America, you name it. Every single entity that was going to put on a show had to have some piece of it.
And they almost always wanted to talk to who?
Rebecca Lobo.
I just remember being like, feeling my life spinning out of control, and I need time to study for a test, or I want to go hang out with this friend of mine. They did a great job. You know, they would limit it to 1 or 2 days a week where we would do interviews and that kind of thing. But I just remember, you know, it was national news outlets. It wasn't just the New York Times. It was like ABC, NBC Nightly News. It was all of this national attention we're getting. We're now on highlights on SportsCenter whenever we have a game.
We watched, you know, ESPN that time, so we saw our own highlights on ESPN, which never happened.
We turned it on every night, and Keith Olbermann was the anchor at the time, and we would wait for him to talk about UConn women's basketball. We were caught up in it as much as anybody. It was pretty awesome.
Just all of a sudden, the attention around our program was completely different than it had ever been before.
Rebecca just absolutely embraced that this was what was best for the team and the program. And she wouldn't pass up an interview, she wouldn't deny somebody an autograph or a picture. She took the time to speak to everybody that asked of her, and she got pulled in a million different directions, way more than the rest of us.
Nobody handles that stuff better than Rebecca, then or now. And for a college kid to do it the way she did it, unbelievable. Never seen anything like it before or since.